What's up everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel where I share with you all things travel, fitness, fashion and beauty. So today's video is all about whether being a flight attendant is the job for you or not. So I'm always getting asked questions about, you know, give me the pros, give me the cons, like what's life like, should I apply, should I not, is it for me, da, 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 da. So I thought I'd put together a little video just explaining some of the pros, some of the cons, and it will help you decide whether being a flight attendant is for you or not for you. So I'm going to be speaking more specifically about Emirates because obviously I'm with Emirates Airline, but it would be relevant to almost any other airline, I guess. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe. Okay, so we will start off with something that's specific to my airline, Emirates. So to be an Emirates flight attendant, Emirates cabin crew, you need to be based in Dubai. So no matter where you live, you kind of have to pack up your bags into 50 kilo suitcase and you need to move to Dubai. Now when you think of Dubai, you think, wow, like Burj Khalifa, the fountains, Burj Al Arab, what, you know, camels and all this crazy sky high, what are they called? I was about to say rockets, skyscrapers and like all these crazy things, and then you come here and then you live literally in the desert, like no buildings, just desert. Well, that wasn't the case for me, but it is the case for some people. So yeah, you have to live in Dubai, and if it's an amazing place, it is great, but it itself has its pros and cons. Some of it may be pros to you or cons to you, maybe pros to me or cons to me, really just depends how you look at it. But I like it here, it's really cool. You know, the thing is that being crew, you're not here all the time, so yeah, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, temporary. Yeah, you're kind of in and out, you're not there every day. So yeah, if you're sick of it or if you don't like something about it, you're not facing it on a daily basis, so it's not that bad, right? Yeah, so, but bear in mind, it is a different country. You're having people from different countries as well living here. It's like full of expats, full of people from all over the world. So yeah, if that's something you're not used to, then it might be a little bit of a shock, but who knows. But yeah, so when you come with Emirates, you will have your accommodation. I need to stop playing with my hair, like I keep like doing this and I need to stop, so just stop. So yeah, when you come here, you will be put in accommodation, unless if you're married, you have the option to have the live out allowance. So when I joined, you used to be able to choose whether you want to live outside accommodation and take the allowance, or whether you want to stay in the accommodation. So I live out. I did start and I stayed in the accommodation for a little while, and then I decided to move out. However, now they've stopped that, so it's only if you purchase a property or if you're married. So obviously you'll be living with your husband or your wife, and you have the option to take the live out allowance. But if you are not and you want to stay in the accommodation, there I go again, yeah, so the building may not always be in the center of Dubai where you have amazing views and like all the buildings around and it's all fancy and luxurious and all this stuff. When I joined I was living in an area called Al Nahda. It is, yeah, it's a little bit far, so it's like say maybe 25-30 minute drive to the central area of Dubai, and it's really like crowded, and yeah, it's just not what you would imagine Dubai is like. It's just not. Yeah, so yeah, and then you will have your flatmate or flatmates. Some of the buildings can have up to some of the rooms can have up to 4 people in them. I believe usually it's just 2 or 3, but there have been some that have 4. I don't know if they're still there, not sure, but yeah, you'll have a flatmate, definitely 1 or more. And yeah, they can be from anywhere, so just think about like someone from an Asian country, then someone from a Western country put together. Like there's different foods, there's different culture, different way of life, different everything, so you kind of gotta like adjust to that. Or you might be lucky enough to get someone that's from your country or something like that, but yeah, it just depends on the person, you know. Like for me, I had someone that was from my country and I was so happy about it. I was like, yes, you know, that's so nice, like someone from Australia, it's gonna be perfect. But for some reason she was just not nice at all. She like hated me from the start, and we actually landed into Dubai at the same time. She's not from, I'm from Sydney, she was from somewhere else in Australia. But yeah, I don't know, she just didn't want to like talk to me. She was just like, even when we met at the airport, there was a few other girls and we were all like, hi, you know, and then she was just like, hi. That I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I hope she's not my flatmate, I hope she's not my flatmate. She ended up being my flatmate, and she was in my batch, like we were together, you know, like she was okay some days, but she just wasn't like friendly, and I couldn't understand why. But I guess she was dealing with her own issues. I didn't let it bother me. I made my own friends and stuff like that, but it was just really disappointing because you want that person that you're living with to be like your sister, your best friend. Yeah, but she just didn't. Like I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, good morning. Sometimes she wouldn't even reply. Or sometimes she'd be like, hi. Okay, this girl, I'm not giving her any more effort. Let her be. If she wants to be cranky, she can be cranky. But yeah, I think she actually left really early. I heard she left like within 6 months because she missed home. So I guess that she just wasn't happy. It wasn't her thing, which is fine. So yeah, you'll be in Dubai. You'll be away from all your family, all your friends, everything that you've known. And that leads to loneliness. So in Dubai, you will be lonely at times. So if your friends are just crew, if they're all flying and you're not, you'll be on your own. Or if you're flying and everyone else is off, they'll be all out together having fun, and you'll be just like, meh, flying. Or maybe you'll be having a good time in the layover, who knows? But yeah. Be prepared for some loneliness at times. A lot of people end up finding their partner, they get married, or they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, and that helps because it keeps you occupied and it keeps you feeling like you have some sense of family around you. Now, one thing with Dubai that you will need to get used to is the weather. So it gets really hot. It gets like up to 50 degrees Celsius, and it's like a heat. It's not like directly from the sun, it's like the heat is coming from the ground, like around you. It's so hot, and like it's humid. It's like as soon as you step outside, if you have sunglasses on, like they fog straight away. You get an instant sweat on your hands. Like it's just crazy. It's like really hot. I don't mind it too much because I don't really feel the heat that much. I'm always cold. So for me in the summer it's a struggle because the AC is on everywhere and it's like on full blast. It's so cold, and outside it's so hot, so you're going in and out of all this hot cold. So I'm always having to wear a jumper, even though it's like 50 degrees outside. And another thing is you will miss out on events, on important dates, anything. Like, you won't always get to go home for Christmas or New Year's or Easter or birthdays. You know, you won't always get it. Like, you can bid for flights, you won't always get what you bid for. You can bid for your leave, you won't always get your leave requests. You can bid for days off, and you know, whatever it may be, you won't always get it. So just be prepared to not always be at the events that you want to be at. If Emirates flies to your home country and we have a layover there, like for example, people from Lebanon, so even though it's so close, but we don't have a layover there, we just fly there and we fly back. So they don't actually get to see their family on layovers. However, on their days off, they can fly on their days off to Lebanon, go see their family. If they get like 3 days off or whatever it may be, they can do that. Whereas for me, I'm from Australia, so days off I can't really go because I'll need a lot of days off, and we don't get like block of so many days off. The maximum is 5. So yeah, it wouldn't be worth it for me to go, and I would need to be back early anyway, so I'd literally go and come straight back. It's not worth it. However, we do have the layovers in Sydney or in Australia in general, so I get to go home and see my family on the layovers while I'm at work. But with that, having said that, yeah, you don't always get the flights you bid for. So yeah, you just have to like wish for the best, hope you get it. If you get it, it's great. If not, yeah, better luck next time. Another thing with the loneliness, I feel like you're always like on your own. So you know, you fly, you may have flown with people before, you may have not. People might all want to go out together, and then sometimes nobody wants to do anything and everyone just wants to sleep, and you're the only one that wants to go out, and you're like, ugh, you know. So it can get a bit lonely and tough at times, but always try to make the most of it. And like me, I always do something every layover. I will always go out and do something, whether it be just go for a walk or something. I have to leave the hotel, that's just me. But yeah, some people don't do anything, they kind of just stick to themselves or stay in the room. And yeah, I don't know, it's like you want to go experience the country, right? Try the different foods, do the different things that's available, you know, like make the most of it, huh? The next thing is tiredness. This just is, let me tell you, this just is. You will be tired like constantly, and I mean constantly. So you know, people go to work at 9, come back at 5. No, you will go to work at any time of the day, you will come back at any time of the day. Your life revolves around scheduling how you're going to sleep. So you might have to be at work at 3. So okay, let's just say your departure is 5 a.m. okay, you have to be at work at 3 a.m. which means you have to be awake at like 1:30 a.m. to be ready to leave to get to work by 3. You know, it's just like so much, like, so you would have to either wake up super early the night before so that you can go to bed early and at least get some hours before that wake up time. But then what happens sometimes is that you try to go to sleep and you don't end up being able to fall asleep. It just happens. It's annoying. I don't know why it happens, but it just happens. So yeah, you're always struggling with the sleep, and then the flight might be so long. You have the rest at work, but it's not like a super long rest. It could be like, depending on how long the flight is and stuff, it could be like 3 hours approximately. So by the time you land, you are ruined, right? And then you have to go by the time you land. So just say you've done such a super long flight, you're so exhausted, you land and it's only 1 p.m, which this is the case a lot of the time. So you're like, okay, if I sleep now, I'm gonna wake up at like midnight, then I'm gonna be awake the whole night, and I have to be ready for 10 a.m. Pickup is at 10 a.m. So it's like, okay, if you sleep now, then you're going to be completely screwed for the way back, and it's just going to be a whole nother thing. So you kind of have to either take a nap, strict nap, and then wake up, or just don't sleep. Just force yourself to stay awake and then sleep at night. It's just, this is your life. You will constantly be scheduling how you're going to sleep. That's just how it goes. You're always going to be tired. You will take days to recover. But what works for me is exercise. Exercise really helps. Even though you're tired, you kind of gotta push yourself to exercise. It does give you more energy, and it helps me a lot. Makes you feel good, makes you feel great. Exercise is key. To be a flight attendant, you need to be a people's person. If you don't like people, this is really not the thing for you, because you are going to be with people all the time and dealing with people all the time, and in any kind of situation. Some people are traveling for good situations, like they're going for their honeymoon, or I don't know, on a holiday, or they could be going home for a funeral, or it could be anything, to see their sick child or anything, you know. Sometimes people have been flying and they've got like someone that's passed away that's close to them in the cargo. So like, you never know what people are traveling for, and you need to be there for people. They will need you. So imagine a flight full. You'll have somebody at the front who's sick, and then somebody with the baby, they're having trouble with the baby, then somebody who's really upset because something happened with their reservation and they're just mad, and then there's somebody here that's not happy because they didn't get their food choice, and then somebody here just wants to talk to you and ask you so many questions. Like, there's all sorts of things going on, and you have to like deal with it with a smile. You have to be present, you have to be helpful, you have to be happy, you have to accommodate them for their requests. Like, they may ask for this, they may ask for that. You can't be mad at them, you can't be like, oh, no. Like, you have to, that's your job. You have to give them what they are asking for, providing like you're allowed to. Yeah. So you just gotta be there, you know, for them. Someone may be scared of flying, and they're coming to you and they're like, help me, I'm scared, and you can't be showing them all this stress and emotions from everything else that's going on. You need to be there and be like, it's okay, everything's fine, you know, like reassuring. And yeah, so you need to be a people's person. You need to have patience, and you need to know how to act under pressure. Another thing is the crew that you're working with. They are from all over the world, coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different life experiences, just different everything. So you kind of need to be understanding and accepting of that. Some people have things going on in their life, you know, and this is the same thing with any workforce, I guess. Just here to be more multicultural. You just have to understand that some people have been through different things, so they're not the same as you, and yeah, it's probably nothing personal. This job is really not about chicken or beef. This service really, like, training college is something else. Let me tell you, it's like 2 months straight, full exams, daily, studying, questions, It's so much. It's 2 months full on. Like, I went to uni, and honestly I didn't feel uni was that much. Like, this is just crazy, and you have to learn things that maybe you don't really want to learn, like parts of aircrafts, like what's the materials, or you know, how to deliver a baby, or you know, you have to learn so many things, and it's just really full on, and you have to pass in great numbers. Like, you have to, otherwise you have to redo the whole thing, and if you keep failing, they send you back. So yeah, you need to really concentrate. It's really full on, that's all. It's like really full on, trust me. Like the textbooks, but they're like this big and there's 2 or 3 of them, and you have to learn everything that's in there, literally, and you have to know that throughout your whole time as a cabin crew. It does get easier the longer you stay, the more used to it you get, so it just kind of becomes second nature. There's always updates though, that's the thing, so you have to always keep refreshing and learning, and you have your yearly exams every year, so you're always basically, you know what's going on. But yeah, it's just a lot to take in and a lot to learn, so it can be quite overwhelming for people. So yeah, just be prepared for that. You're gonna work really hard for 2 months studying, and then when you start flying, that's when you will learn all the service and stuff, because for the whole 2 months you're studying like safety and security. This is, you know, in medical as well, like it's all these other things like safety, security. It's all about this thing, and then you have a small time to do the service stuff, like the serving and, you know, all of that stuff that people think it is about. But really, one thing that sucks is that a lot of crew do put on weight when you start flying, because first of all, you're not going to be eating at like a normal schedule, so you're not going to have breakfast at breakfast time, then lunch, dinner. You might only eat just once a day. You know, you're eating aircraft food, which isn't the healthiest to be eating on a daily basis, and then you'll be trying all these nice foods from overseas, and like stress as well. Like, it's just such a common thing for people to put on weight. Me personally, I don't think I did, because I always kind of looked the same. I think I might have fluctuated a little bit, but nothing drastic. My weights always stayed the same, so thank goodness, I've been lucky. But yeah, it's common. You join with someone and then you bump into them like 8 months later and you're like, is that you? You know, so that happens. So that's the one thing that kind of doesn't sit very well, but yeah, it's the reality. So you might think that you will be able to go here, there, everywhere that you want, and then you get your roster and you're just going to the same places over and over and over. Like when I first joined, the first like 3 months, I was just going to the same places. I'm like, what? Like, because I had already been to these places before Emirates, so I'm like, where's the travel, you know? And this is what makes time go so fast, because we live month by month, because we get our rosters every month. And then if you don't get what you want, you're like, okay, next month hopefully I'll get it, or next month is my top bid, I should get what I bid for. To explain top bid, we're separated into 7 groups, and then they go on rotation who gets there. So when you're on your top bid, you're most likely to get what you bid for. It's just always like, okay, I didn't get it, I'll go next month, and like da 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 da. And time goes so fast, because people, like just normal people, they go to work, they come back, and it's just in the same day. Like they'll go to work at 9 or whatever, come back 5, work is done, and they go the next day. For us, it's like we go to work, and when we come back home, it's like 3 days, 4 days later. So it's like the time just goes so fast, like honestly so fast. You never know what day it is, you never know like just where you are sometimes, and yeah, it's a bit like all over the place. So you don't live on a schedule, you don't have any kind of routine. You try the best to make a routine that works for you. Some things work for some people, some things don't. So yeah, you kind of just gotta make it work for you. A thing that may be challenging is if you have either your significant other or children or people that aren't in the same country. It will be hard, because obviously you're not going to be with them every day, which will be very challenging. So that's one thing that is really hard for some people. They can, most of the time they're able to see them on layovers or on days off, but yeah, depends, because if the flights are full you can't take the flight, If you don't get what you bid for, then you can't go. If you can't manage to swap, then you know, yeah, so it's just it can be really tough at times, even though we're grateful that we are able to travel and see the world and all these things. But you know, sometimes something is so important, and if you just can't make it work, then it really sucks. But what to do? This is what we signed up for. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I was able to give you a better insight, answer the questions you had. Yeah, I hope this will help you decide whether this job is for you or whether it is not. If you have any other questions you would like me to answer, just let me know in the comments below, or send me a direct message through to my Instagram and I will answer you there. So give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!